Yeah.
Okay.
Recording is being started. Yes, Lanir, you can welcome the people.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Happy to see you again with us. We are speaking today again with Sri Bagavath from India. And we are inquiring about liberation, enlightenment, what is the mind, what is the second mind. And we are sure it will be very interesting for everybody. So, Sri Bagavath, if you want to start.
Okay, good morning to all of you. And today also, we are speaking about the same thing. In all religion, the devotion is regarded as the highest thing. So what is the meaning behind all religion with related to devotion is that we have to surrender ourselves before God. So here, to whom we have to surrender is not important. The way of surrender, the aptitude of surrender is very important. Because the conscious mind that we are having always with us, the conscious mind always claim that the conscious mind is permanent and I want this thing and that thing. I want to be safe and secure. So that is the primary root, that is the primary cause for all our problem. So if we surrender ourselves either in the name of God or either in the name of understanding or liberation or enlightenment, whatever it be, the surrender must happen. When we surrender ourselves, the natural flow of our mind will happen. So that is the problem. For example, there is a shop owner. Each and every day, it is a small little shop in a village. Each and every moment, a shopkeeper will be there, and if we go and we can purchase things from the shopkeeper. And the shopkeeper has 5 sons. And each son more or less in the same age group, but it look same, look alike. The 5 sons of the shop owner look like the same person. One day, one person gone to the shop and the first son of the shopkeeper is there and he want to purchase a certain thing. But the shopkeeper told that presently the article is not available. I will purchase the thing and I will deliver you 2 hours later, and you come 2 hours later. And the purchaser returned to the shop after 2 hours. But the son of the shopkeeper is taking the charge of the shop, but it is a different sun. It is not the old sun. So the person who has ordered the article asked to deliver the article, as if the shopkeeper is same. But the shopkeeper unable to understand what is the order and what is to be delivered, because he is different. Moment, I mean, the person who has placed the order, one son was there, and now you want to receive, get back the article, the another son is in charge of the shop. So some confusion is there, because the shop, all sons are look like equal, same. We cannot easily find out the difference between one son between the other son. So there is a problem. So in the same way, each and every moment, our conscious mind looks like same, but it is moment by moment, it is new. We can think, I should not do this, I have to do this. We can take a decision like this, but the decision will go away in the next moment. Because the new consciousness comes, new consciousness take the charge each and every moment. It will not have any knowledge, it has not any necessity to follow the rules of follow the understanding of the whole consciousness. So that is the position. So here the mind and the intellect is different, and in our language it is known as manam and buddhi. Buddhi is intellect, manam is the wandering mind. So the wandering mind, the conscious mind is it is always wandering. It is also necessary, otherwise we cannot live in this world, we can get the new things in the world. So moment by moment, we have to go, we have to start afresh, we have to meet the new things. Then only we can collect the necessary things and we can make a decision out of that. So the intellect or buddhi is the deciding part. So the deciding part, sometimes the conscious mind takes the role of the intellect and takes the role of the mind itself. So some confusion is there. So if you take the mind or the wandering mind as the second part of existence, as it is not the primary one, the intellect may be the primary one, but the wandering mind is not the primary one. So the main thing we have to understand is that we have to understand the secondary nature of ourselves. So if you understand the secondary nature of ourselves, we will not blame ourselves. So it is the nature of ourselves. Moment by moment it is new. We need not worry about the forgotten things. So we have to start everything afresh. We have to start everything in a new way. So that is the main thing open to us. So whatever happen in our conscious mind, so the moment by moment it is okay. The next moment it is not okay. The next moment it is new. So you need not worry about the old moment. So if you are ready to face the new things, we have to dismiss the old one. We have to dismiss ourselves. Moment by moment, we have to dismiss ourselves. We have to start a new life within in a moment by moment. We have to start anew. We have to start a new life in each and every moment. So that is the healthy and liberated way of our mind. Lanir?
Yes.
Any question on this aspect, or otherwise you can translate?
Okay.
Okay.
I will translate and maybe later add a question.
Okay.
So, אז שרי בגבת פתח ואמר שבכל הדתות, בכל המסורות, נותנים חשיבות עליונה, אפילו בבודהיזם, לאקט של devotion, לאקט של התמסרות. ושרי בגבת אומר שזה לא כל כך חשוב למה אתה מתמסר, אם אתה מתמסר למורה או לאלוהים או לגורו או לכל דבר אחר, חשוב האקט של ההתמסרות. האקט של ההתמסרות שבעצם האגו, או איך שבגבת קורא לזה, the wandering mind, המוח הנודד, שהולך מפה לשם, הוא צריך להגיע למסקנה שאין לו עבודה לעשות בעולם. וזאת ההתמסרות שלו. ואז שרי בגבת דיבר על דוגמה שהוא נתן, על חנות שיש בה 5 אנשים, שהם כולם נראים אותו דבר, 5 אחים, וב5 אחים, ובחנות הזאת נגיד מגיע לקוח שמבקש משהו מהאדם, מהאח הראשון, ולאחר מכן האח הראשון אומר שאין את הפריט הזה שהוא מבקש, והוא היה מבקש והוא יביא לו את הפריט עוד בערך 2 שעתיים. והלקוח הולך וחוזר אחרי 2 שעתיים, אבל בינתיים הבן אדם שהיה בחנות מתחלף, והגיע בן אדם אחר, האח שלו, שנראה בדיוק אותו דבר, אבל הוא מישהו אחר שלא מבין מה הבן אדם רוצה, ונוצר שם בלבול. אז באותו אופן, התודעה שלנו היא חדשה מרגע לרגע. היא נראית אותו דבר, זה נראה כאילו אנחנו תמיד אותו בן אדם, אותו אחד, אבל למעשה אנחנו בכל רגע שונים, בכל רגע אחרים. למשל אנחנו יכולים להחליט שאנחנו רוצים להפסיק לעשן או להתחיל לאכול בריא, אבל ברגע הבא יש תודעה חדשה שלא מעניין אותה מה שהתודעה הישנה חשבה, יש לה עניינים אחרים להתעסק. אז באותו אופן התודעה שלנו היא חדשה מרגע לרגע. ובגבת טוען שזאת הדרך, זאת הצורה הנכונה והטבעית של הנפש שלנו, שבה בעצם בכל רגע מחדש אנחנו צריכים לשחרר את הישן, לשחרר את מה שהיה, ולבוא חדשים למצב. ואז אנחנו בעצם עם הקצב של החיים. בעוד שאם אנחנו מחזיקים ברעיונות ותפיסות ודעות לגבי איך שהדברים אמורים להיות, אנחנו בעצם מחזיקים את העבר, ואנחנו לא עומדים בקצב של החיים. החיים כל הזמן מתחדשים, כל הזמן אחרים, כל הזמן משתנים. וכשאנחנו באים לחיים האלה עם התבניות של העבר שלנו, אנחנו בעצם לא בקשר עם המציאות. אוקיי, שרי בגבת.
Okay. We can go further by question and answer, and we can start ask a question.
So, Sri Bagavath, sometimes, like you say, it seems that let's say you were being hurt by somebody. Somebody accused you of something that you are not guilty of, and this feeling of hurt is staying with you for maybe days, for maybe weeks, and it doesn't seem to go away, doesn't seem to vanish, even with the new moments. So what happens in this kind of situation?
So that
When you
the memory is there. So everything is recorded in the memory. The memory will not go. So say some memory will be very strong. So it will not go. But the thought from the memory is different. Moment by moment, it is different. Otherwise, we cannot live. So if the same thought is coming, we cannot live. So moment by each and every moment, new thought alone can come. That is the nature of our mind. So then only it can go anywhere, somewhere else, wherever it goes. Then only it can bring knowledge about many things. Then when we can act. But at the same, the memory will be there. Memory will not go. Memory will be there. So that is the something. If it is we have got hurt from other people or anything, any situation, naturally the memory will be there, and repeated thought from the memory will be also there. That is also natural.
I will translate what you said.
Okay.
אז שרי בגבת אומר שאני שאלתי את שרי בגבת, מה לגבי מקרים שמישהו פגע בנו, בצדק או שלא בצדק, והפגיעה הזאת נותרת איתנו במשך ימים, שבועות, חודשים, לפעמים שנים. איך זה מתיישב עם העניין הזה שהתודעה שלנו היא כל הזמן מתחדשת? אז שבגבת אומר שהזיכרון נמצא שם, הזיכרון של הפגיעה, אבל מה שמתחדש למעשה זה המחשבה שלנו על הנושא הזה, על הפגיעה. זאת המחשבה שכל הזמן מעוררת מחדש את אותו הכאב, וזה גם טבעי, זה טבעי שהזיכרון נמצא שם, אבל המחשבה על זה היא כל פעם חדשה, היא כל פעם חדשה. וכך זה צריך להיות, אחרת אנחנו לא היינו יכולים ללמוד שום דבר חדש, היינו כל הזמן עסוקים עם העבר. אז יש שם זיכרון, אבל המחשבה על הזיכרון היא כל פעם חדשה, היא כל פעם נמצאת מגיעה מחדש. Okay.
Okay. And in case of the other day also, somebody has told about the awareness. So this awareness also brings surrender because it is a way of acceptance. So in the form of acceptance also, it is the correct form of awareness. The awareness means we are open to accept everything in a receptive nature. If you are receptive, sensitive, with sensitiveness, so everything is a form of surrender. It is in a different way of surrender. But the basic idea behind all those, whether it is a practice or understanding, everything is, the basic idea is same. We have to be receptive. The receptive nature is also awareness. It's also sensitive. We are open to anything, and receptive to receiving the newness. So in this way, if we give, take ourselves to the secondary one, it is not the primary one. The primary one is it is spontaneous action, and the secondary action is the conscious recognized, we recognize something. The portion which is recognizing is the secondary action. The first part of our action is the unconscious and spontaneous. The secondary aspect of ourself is the thing we have recognized something. I am doing this, I am doing that, the part of recognition. So everything comes later. So in any way, we have to understand the secondary nature of ourselves. By having awareness and being sensitive, being open to what is happening. So all this make us in a receptive way. Otherwise, we are dominating. We want to be. We are expressing our force. We are expressing our effort. So in the physical world, effort is important, but in the psychological aspect, we have to have some submission. We have to have some the surrender nature, the secondary nature. So that is very important. The psychological world. The physical world, we have to plan and execute. That is different. But in the psychologically, for ourselves, we have to accept the secondary nature of ourselves. We have to recognize the secondary nature alone. We are conscious of that. We are recognizing something. So we have to be aware of the secondary nature of ourselves.
Okay, I will translate.
Okay.
שרי בגבת דיבר על העניין הזה שהנושא שעלה בשיחות הקודמות על המודעות, והוא אומר שהמודעות היא בסופו של דבר היא שווה לאקט של קנייה פנימית. היא מביאה אותך למצב של פתיחות, למצב של קבלה. והדבר הזה הוא בעצם האספקט שמשחרר אותנו, את האנשים. ברגע שישנה קבלה, שישנה פתיחות, שהמודעות נוכחת, אפשר להגיד, בחלק הקדמי של הבמה, אז ישנה סוג של התחדשות מרגע לרגע, שמשחררת אותנו, שמאפשרת לנו בעצם להיות חופשיים. המיינד המשני, מה שבגבת קורא לו ה-second mind, החלק השני, זה החלק שבעצם מזהה שמשהו קרה. למשל, מישהו פגע בך, והתגובה הספונטנית היא הרגש של ההיעלבות, או מה שעולה שם, או איזה סוג של פגיעה נפשית. זה הדבר הראשון שקורה באופן ספונטני. אחר כך מגיע החלק השני. החלק השני זה החלק שמזהה ואומר, פגעו בי. וכאן יכול להתחיל סיפור שלם. פגעו בי כי אני מאפשר לאנשים לפגוע בי, פגעו בי כי הבן אדם שעשה את זה הוא בן אדם רע, וסיפורים לאינסוף. והחלק השני הזה, זה החלק, בדיוק החלק שהקנייה מכוונת אליו. זאת אומרת, החלק הזה שכביכול בא להגן עליך, שכביכול בא לסדר לך את החיים, ולהגיד לך, הנה אני אעשה פה סיפור שיעזור לך, זה בדיוק החלק שצריך להבין שכל ההתערבויות שלו הן בעצם רק גורמות ליותר סבל. בעולם החיצוני, למיינד הזה יש תפקיד להסתכל על הבעיות ולנסות לפתור אותן, אבל כאשר המיינד השני, החלק המפרש, החלק שמסביר, לוקח את הפיקוד ואומר, אני אסדר לך את החיים, אני אראה לך, אני אסביר לך מה קרה, הוא בעצם מכניס אותך למלכודת מאוד גדולה, וגורם לך להיתקע במקום נפשי שקשה לצאת ממנו, וזה החלק ששרי בגבת אומר שצריך להיכנע ולשחרר, ולתת לחלק הספונטני הראשוני את קדמת הבמה. That's it, Shri Bhagavat.
Okay. But in all practice are good if it is related to the form of surrender. For example, Gautam Buddha has practiced in many ways, but he failed. Even though he got so many experience through his practices, he feel he is disappointed. He is unable to get the real thing. So in a desperate condition, he put himself in a still position because he has nothing to do. Because whatever way he tried, and he failed in all his endeavor, and he surrendered to himself, unable to do anything. So when he put himself in doing nothing, so he accept his own action. Whatever comes within himself, he go along with his own action, with his own mind, with his own thought, with his own breathing. Everything is happen, whatever unconsciously happening within himself, he simply accept and go along with the happenings. So he transformed. So the transformation happens through the way of surrender. So in every cases, in case of all enlightened person, somewhere or other, they find themselves without any conscious work. If they, for example, if you watch our breath, watch our respiration, there are many practices to watch our breath. So the watching our breath is just like an exercise. It is not a religion. It is not a religion. It is a spiritual practice. So if you do not have any work except watching the breath, so that is the form of surrender. So we should not have any work except watching, because we do not know what to do. So in this manner, the breathing alone is happening on its own. So we go along with the happening of our breath. So that is surrender. So whatever is there, whatever may be the practice, all practice is in the two sides. One is we are doing the practice on ourselves. The other is the practice is going on, we are also going along with the practice. So that is the second part. The second part of practice is the form of surrender. So the surrender gives a clear result. So otherwise, if you practice anything and we are conquer the result, it is not working, and conquering is not the case in the spiritual field. So here we have to accept our failure. We have to accept we have no work on our conscious part. So we have to submit ourselves. The submission must be there. So that is the main role with our mind.
So I will translate.
Okay.
אז שרי בגבת אומר שכל תרגול שמוביל לקנייה פנימית הוא מבורך. הוא נתן את הדוגמה של הבודה, לפני שהוא הפך להיות הבודה, גבותם הסידרתה. הוא עבר תרגול מאוד אינטנסיבי במשך 6 שנים, שבו הוא ניסה להשיג הערה והוא לא הצליח, ולבסוף הוא התיישב מתחת עץ, ופשוט נכנע לכישלון שלו, לזה שהוא לא ידע מה לעשות. הוא ניסה לעשות כל מה שהוא יכול, בכל הכוח, בכל הכיוונים שהוא יכל לחשוב עליהם, ובסופו של דבר הוא היה צריך להודות בזה שהוא נכשל. ובאותם רגעים, כאשר הוא פשוט ישב שם עם הודעה פנימית בכישלון שלו, אז בעצם הוא נתן לדברים להיות כמו שהם, הוא זרם עם הדברים כפי שהם הופיעו בתודעה שלו, הוא לא התנגד, הוא לא ניסה להגיע לאנשהו, הוא פשוט היה עם הדברים כמו שהם, ואז הטרנספורמציה שהוא חיפש כל כך קרתה בשם נירוונה. אז שרי בגבד גם מתייחס לצורה של ההתבוננות בנשימה, אחד התרגולים המפורסמים שהבודה הביא לעולם. הוא לא היה הראשון, אבל בוא נגיד שהוא היה אחד הידועים ביותר שהביאו את התרגול הזה לעולם, התבוננות בנשימה הטבעית שלנו. אז שרי בגבד אומר שלתרגול הזה יש בעצמו אספקט של כניעה, בגלל שבעצם אין לך שום דבר לעשות חוץ מלהתבונן בנשימה הטבעית, ואז אתה פשוט נותן לדברים להיות כמו שהם. אז לתרגול יכולים להיות שני פנים. אם התרגול נעשה מתוך מאמץ ורצון לכבוש ולהשיג ולהגיע, אז הוא לא יוביל אותנו למקום, לכניעה ולשחרור. אבל אם הוא נעשה מתוך ההבנה שאין לנו מה להשיג, אין לאן להגיע, וזה פשוט, הנשימה הזאת קורית מרגע לרגע, אז בתרגול עצמו כבר יש את האספקט של הכניעה, ואז זה עשוי לעבוד. That's it, Shri Bagavath.
Okay.
I just wanted to say something about you gave the example of the Buddha Gautama Siddhartha, and then he was working very hard to achieve enlightenment and liberation, and he failed for 6 years. So is it is somebody who just coming to hear about enlightenment and liberation, if he completely let go of his mind, then what happens to him is this is just wandering here and there with the mind, and he's not able to understand what you're saying. It's just he will sit and will do nothing, and he will just be wandering here and there. And what can you say to such a person? How can he proceed further?
So, first of all, we have to be serious with ourselves. Then only the question of understanding. If we don't mind our action, we will not inquire ourselves, we will not examine ourselves. So anyway, we have to know ourselves. We have to come and we have to try to understand ourselves. But in the way of understanding ourselves, what is the process? So here, the aspect is to submission, the submission of ourselves. So we have to accept our incapability. If you think I can do, then we will plan and execute many things. So the planning, doing, executing, everything is in the external world. But in the psychological world, only the putting up everything. We have to put up everything. We renounce everything. We should not hold anything, because if you hold something, that is the reason for our struggle. So we will catch hold of something and we will try to set right everything. But in the psychological world, the setting right something is not possible. So here, moment by moment, new things alone has to come. There cannot be any permanent thing. So moment by moment new. The newness means moment by moment new. there cannot be any old. So psychological world must be new. Each and every moment must be new. That is the rule related to the psychological world. Here, no practice is necessary. So all practice make our mind old in a organized way. So that is not necessary in the psychological world. Physical world, everything must be in order. We must have some permanency. Everything must be there. We have to settle in a permanent way. But the psychological is quite opposite. Here, we have to be free. So nothing is there. So we have to understand. The understanding will help. Before that, in the we have to be serious. Then only we can try to understand what is going on within ourselves. So the ordinary people will not have any access to this understanding.
So you mean to say that there has to be some readiness, some
readiness.
maturity,
maturity
to have this.
But in case of Ramana Maharishi, there is no maturity, because only as a schoolboy, he got the fear of death. So it is accident. Accidentally, it may happen like this, but it is very rare. But normally, like most of the people with just like Buddha, he is trying in many ways. So in this way, we are also trying in many ways. So that is the normal. And after trying in many ways, the final goal is achieved by surrendering everything, put down everything. So in some way or other, we have to understand we have no work psychologically. We have to put down everything. Then only the blossoming is there, the flowering is there.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Okay.
So, in my observation, many times if the situation is very, very strong, like creating a great suffering or shock, or then surrender will be the reaction, most probably, that because it's too much, overwhelming, and then there will be a surrender. But I think the difference between Ramana and great people, that this surrender, this one-time event, has was surrendering the whole. In this one surrender, they surrendered completely, and in many other cases, the situation is strong, but not strong enough to cut it from the root. So this is one thing. And the other thing I would like to say also, and to ask also, that you say outwardly we should be active, we should be active, be using our mind and act. And inwardly, we should be more, we should submit, we should be more receptive, we should be more in the kind of, in a receptive mode. So what I found that happens, that maybe it's just, this is the process, that once you are, you in a way, once you are submit, then it somehow affects the outer world, and then in the outer world you'll become passive. And then on the contrary, some people in our world, most of them, they are acting very strongly with a sharp mind, and they are very successful, and our society is like that. But it also happens in the inside world. So they are not submit. They don't submit. We are not. So I find this game is very. I find it's very hard to, like, the balance, to find the balance, to be inwardly, to be submissive, or I don't know how to say this word, and outwardly you're very sharp and you're very using and you use your mind, and you act in a very you use your intellect strongly and you act. So this I find quite this what I find is happening inside of me. And surrender is not always, it's sometimes it happens due to a strong situation, but after the situation passes, then you return to your, to this, how to say, vanity of I can do, I can manage, like that. Was I clear?
No, so clear. So the external work is concerned. Are you able to hear my voice?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, the picture is frozen.
Because in my iPad, the photo is still only the
Also
cell
here.
phone is alone. I can.
But I hear you. Yes.
But if you are able to hear the voice, it is okay. So here, in the external world is concerned, we have to work. So we are in the world of external situations. So we have, so most of the time we have to have some work. This is the main thing. But in case of Ramana Maharishi, Buddha, all those people, when they got the understanding, they simply, Ramana Maharishi himself, he simply left the house. But in the case of Buddha, he is already he is away from the house, away from his natural worldly work. So some way or other, he can separate himself, and he can hold the understanding, hold the surrender, hold the incapability for some time more. So it may settle within himself. But here, we are always within many work. So where in the external work is concerned, we have to act, we have to plan, we have to execute. But here we have to intellectually, we have to understand. But anyhow, we have tasted the flame of surrender. So it is okay. But we cannot keep the flame forever. But at the same time, we tasted how it tastes. We can understand in the case of surrender.
I think yes, got disconnected. I paused the time. Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead.
אוקיי, אז אושרי בגבת דיבר קצת, בוא נתחיל עם השאלה של אושרת. אושרת דיברה על שני דברים. הדבר הראשון היה שהיא מרגישה שבזמן של משבר מאוד גדול, אז היא קוראת כניעה טבעית, שאתה מרגיש שאתה לא מסוגל, ואז יש איזושהי הרכנת ראש של האגו, ואתה חש את הפירות של הכניעה הזאת. אבל אחר כך כשהמשבר חולף, אז האגו שוב מרים את הראש, ושוב יש לו את ההרגשה שאני יכול לעשות, ובעצם הכניעה היא לא טוטלית. ומכאן השאלה השנייה שבנוגע לאנשים, למורים הגדולים, נראה שאצלם הקנייה הייתה אחת ולתמיד. לא היה איזשהו, אולי היה איזשהו תהליך לפני, אבל ברגע שקרתה ההבנה, הייתה איזושהי קנייה פעם אחת ולתמיד. וזה אולי ההבדל בין המורים הגדולים לאדם הרגיל. שרי בגבת ענה שהרבה פעמים במקרים של המורים הגדולים הם היו בסיטואציה שהם יכלו להתמסר אושרת גם דיברה על העניין הזה של החיצוני והפנימי, והיא אמרה שזה מאוד מבלבל, כי בעולם החיצוני אתה אמור לפעול, ובעולם הפנימי אתה אמור להיות פסיבי, וזה מאוד מבלבל, כי הרבה פעמים אם אתה פסיבי בעולם הפנימי, זה ישפיע גם על זה שתהיה פסיבי בעולם החיצוני. אם אתה מאוד פעיל ואקטיבי בעולם החיצוני, מן הסתם זה גם ישפיע על הצורה שבה אתה מתייחס לעולם הפנימי. הנה שרי בגבת is coming. אז שרי בגבת אמר שאותם מורים היו בסיטואציה כזאת שגם מבחינה חיצונית הם לא היו צריכים לעשות שום דבר, הם היו פרשו מהעולם. שרי בגבת חזר.
Okay. iPad is all right.
We don't see your picture, Shri Bhagavat.
ஐயா ஐபேட் கொஞ்சம் கரெக்டா வச்சுக்கணும். பேன் தான் தெரியுது.
ஓகே. இப்போ ஓகேயா? இல்லையா, நீங்க வரல, பேன் தான் இருக்கு. என்ன இருக்கு? பேன் உங்க மேல பேன் ஓடுது இல்லையா? அப்படியா?
தெரியுது பாபுலாஜி. I can see, yeah.
You can see.
Yeah.
One minute. Okay.
இப்போ ஓகே. சரி.
இப்போ ஓகே.
ஓகே.
அது ஓகே. அது மிஷன் வர்க் நினைக்கிறேன்.
ஆமா, அதோடயே வந்திருக்கு. சரி.
இப்போ ஆடியோ வீடியோ ஓகே.
ஓகே. இடையில ஒரு ஆஃப் பண்ணி போட வேண்டியிருந்தது.
இல்ல, meanwhile he translated whatever we discussed.
ஆமா. Lanir, any discussion on this point of view?
You were just answering Oshrat about the position of the great teachers like Gautama, Siddhartha, and Ramana Maharishi, that they were in a situation that their outer world was also, they were recluse, they were hermits, and they could allow themselves not to be active either outside or inside. But you said that for us, we have to, we are living in this world, and we have many work in this world. And then if you can continue in this line, how can we that have to operate and function in the outer world can have this understanding?
So here alone we are dividing inner and outer. So here we have to understand the inner world, the surrender is the thing. So we have to understand, we have already understood, we have already tasted what is surrender, what is submission. So we can simply place the understanding, we can simply place the surrender within the inner world. So inner world, there is nothing to relate with anything. We have nothing to plan, we have nothing to execute. But in the external world, we have to plan. So even when we are working in the external world, we have to use our mind, use our brain. So here all our brain, all our mind, even the wandering mind itself is helpful to the external world. Just like the English professor is correctly give the correct meaning of a word. So in this way, our wandering mind is also suitable to the external world, but it is not suitable to the psychological world. The psychological world, we have to put down ourselves. We should not have any work. We should not have anything to attain psychologically. Psychologically, everything is good, everything is right, everything is sacred, everything is right, nothing is wrong. So the psychological world is concerned, we have to accept thing as it is. We have to accepting everything totally. There should not be any classification, good, bad, everything is correct. So then only we can do the correct thing in the external world and the correct thing in the psychological world. So psychologically, we have to be in the state of surrender. And but in the same way, we can use our intellect and everything in the external world, external situation. So we can understand. So we have to work for that, and we have to understand. And we have to, but anyhow, if there is no work, both physically and psychologically, it is very easy to renounce everything, both psychologically and physically. But at the same time, if you are able to classify what is external and what is internal, then we can. So it is only for, it may be difficult only in the beginning. So if it is okay, if you understand, to have a proper understanding, then it is automatic. You need not each and every moment we have to divide external and internally. We can sit for an hour and do the work. So if you once understand, it is very easy for yourself, whether it is maybe external work or psychological work, whatever it may be very easy in course of time.
So you say it's a key to understand, to differentiate between what is what is intellect, what is wandering mind, what is inside, what is outside. All this. So when you have the clear discrimination, then it's easy. Then it's not mixing.
So you have to inquire and find out for yourself. The main thing is that because most of that, whenever we take some work on our hand, naturally we have to give more weight to ourselves. The submission is dismissed. So we have to verify whether the submission is going on, whether we are doing the external world or psychological world. Whether the submission is going, we have to be watchful. We have to verify whether the submission is going on. So that is maybe the measuring rod. We can.
And also maybe the purpose of people doing meditation like that is because they want to, because they're not used to this way of being receptive, so they need to do the practice in order to in a way tame their mind to be more receptive. And as long as they feel that they are quite in a receptive mode, they could not move forward to what you are suggesting. Is it true?
So all practice is good. So for a beginner, they practice to get a result. So it is not wrong for the beginner, but afterwards result is not important. So then only the surrender operates.
when can you tell whether practice is needed or not? When to stop the practice? If you don't need to practice, let's say
So
you
where
understand.
so actually the surrender alone is important. Whether you practice or not doesn't matter. If you are interested, you can practice. If you don't interested, you need not practice. The main the achievement is surrender alone is the achievement.
I heard a certain teacher who was saying that the wandering mind is like a bee. You know, a bee is like the insect that is looking for honey, nectar from the flowers, bee. So the wandering mind is like a bee. Actually, he is always looking for happiness. So if you leave him alone, we will find the nectar in the end. He will go here and there, but because he cannot find real happiness anywhere, finally he knows that he will find it in the right place, where when he's quiet, when he starts to submit his search, then he finds it, and then so he says there's no meaning in stopping him from going here and there and everywhere, because he's looking for something. When he will find it, he will stop from himself. How do you see this kind of saying?
Okay, but according to the statement, as if we are searching for something, searching for a result, searching for a end. Actually, we have to end ourselves, not getting something. We have to end ourselves. That is the matter. But in the external world is concerned, we have to go this and there. Then only we can select. Because, for example, if you want to do a work, it's a different kind of idea we must have. Then only we have to select the correct idea. So we have the suggestive part must be give more suggestion. Then only we have to correct answer. So the mind is a suggestive part. The suggestive part must be go here and there. Then only it can bring some this one and that one from many place. Then we can select the correct one. So in the external world is concerned, the role of the mind is very necessary. Then only we can come to a correct conclusion. But in the psychological world is concerned, we have to lose ourselves. we should not uphold ourselves. We have to put down ourselves.
Yes.
You may translate your discussion.
אז אני העליתי את ההשקפה ששמעתי מאחד המורים, שאמר שה-wandering mind, המיינד הנודד, הוא כמו דבורה שמחפשת דבש, מחפשת צוף, והיא נודדת מפה לשם, משם לפה, ובתקווה למצוא איזשהו משהו שייתן לה סיפוק מתמשך. אבל כמובן שהוא לא מוצא. ואותו מורה אמר שאתה לא צריך להגביל את הדבורה הזאת, כי זה החיפוש שלה, כשהוא מדבר על העולם הפנימי. החיפוש שלה היא מחפשת סוף, להשיג עושר, ובסוף היא מוצאת אותו בתוך העצמי האמיתי. אבל מתי היא מוצאת? רק כשהיא מתייאשת מהחיפוש של עצמה, ואז למעשה היא כאילו שוקעת לתוך הטבע האמיתי שלה, שתמיד היה שם, אבל היה מכוסה על ידי החיפוש. ושאלתי את שרי בגבת לגבי איך הוא רואה את הדברים. אז שרי בגבת אמר שבנוגע לעולם החיצוני, המיינד באמת חייב להיות מאוד פעיל, ולהציע לך כל מיני רעיונות, ולבחון כל מיני אפשרויות, ורק ככה אפשר להתקדם, שהמיינד מאוד פעיל ומאוד יצירתי במציאת פתרונות. אבל מבחינה פנימית אנחנו חייבים לסיים את החיפוש, חייבים להגיע למצב שבו אתה פשוט מאפשר להכל להיות כמו שהוא ומודה בכישלון שלך לסדר את הדברים. אתה פשוט מודה בכישלון שאתה לא יודע לסדר, אתה לא יודע לאן ללכת, לא יודע מה לעשות. העולם הפנימי חייב להיעזב לנפשו. That's it.
Okay. The time is also more than 1 hour, so we can say goodbye and you can meet the next week. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you,
Patrick.
שלום.
Thank you.
Thank you.
שלום.
תודה.
שבוע טוב לכולם.
Good.
שבוע טוב.
טוב, מבורך.
Fine, stop.